If you're looking for some inspiration from somebody to say, hey, start a business, go after it, go after it big, create a construction company, build things, we've got an expert here to talk about it. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Again, your little castle show, the Cardinal Cowboy. We had the hat on. What we're going to put on here again, we'll have that for you here. But lots of big Cardinals fans, a lot of sports fans. But I tell you, sports gave me the background to always improve, always try to win, always compete. Integrity, honesty, dedication, hard work. And if there's anybody that I've ever seen is all about that too, right here sitting in studio here with me, Brittany Burdette. I'm going to put her name up on the screen for everybody there. But she's the owner and founder of Blueprint Construction. Go to blueprintconstructionstl.com. See a nice website. It's got a lot of great information for you. But I want to dive in here and talk a little bit more about one of my favorite questions. But congratulations on having a successful business. It's just that I feel like uplifted after this conversation. I feel positive. I'm like, there we go. We're going to be okay. People who are coming around starting businesses these days are really doing the hard work it takes to get there. Tell me back to what are some of the other biggest mistakes you talked about? I said that was an interesting one you gave me. We finished up. If you missed that first show, everybody, go back and watch. It's a half hour. It airs on ABC, but it'll also be on our YouTube channel. Check it out there. Sometimes we put them on our Facebook too. It's clips or the whole thing, or a lot of great information out there. But with that, what you told me the first show, people get their materials for their construction and they leave them outside, and then I can imagine one rain job. Yeah, if you got wood, warped boards and everything. What are some of the other mistakes you see people make when they're having a big job going to construction?
Using HVAC inserts for chimney inserts.
Ah, okay. Here's another trade secret right here. Yeah. As a chimney expert, you're not supposed to use the HVAC inserts. No, you're supposed to use chimney inserts. What's the difference there?
They are insulated for fire, where your HVAC typically leads out from a furnace. I've even seen in some of the construction they use plumbing, and they'll like fish it out through there. But it's different. If you have siding on the exterior of that, you'll typically notice smoke, burning marks, or melted siding because it's not the proper. It needs to be insulated, and you need the proper steel grade as well.
There you go. Make sure you're getting the right materials. Like we were talking about flames, heat. You don't want to cut corners. Use something that a lot of people. You've seen this happen many times.
A lot.
How would you know? Hey guys, go check to make sure those panels they used for my flue are the right rated materials, and that's something most people they would never know.
So that is kind of hard to tell because you would need to take apart the firebox and take a look in the inside to see what they put in there. So it does become then costly to find out if they did it right. Or I hate to say sit there and babysit them, but sometimes you have to.
Have to babysit sometimes, everybody, because there's materials that, boy, when some people can get away with something and cut corners, it comes back on them.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good idea, but hey, listen to Brittany. She's very intelligent here with all of this stuff for sure and knows what she's talking about, and it's good to hear an expert share with these. Man, who would have ever thought of that one? I had never thought of that one. But tell me, though, as a matter of the type of work do you enjoy, residential, commercial, a little bit of each? What do you like most, and what do you like about each?
So I do quite a bit of commercial work. I don't like it as much. It's pretty much the same thing all the time. Hospital work or even bars and stuff, it's always the same thing. I like doing residential because everybody has a different taste or style. So you get to customize something different every time.
Yeah, when you're dealing with a homeowner, this is the person that's going to be living in that house, and you get to customize and get to know people on a personal level and customize things for them. And do you spend more time, you think, very often going beyond and doing exceptional things and customizing things more specifically for homeowners?
Yeah, I like that aspect. If we can find something cool or unique or even something new that's trending to even increase the home value and stuff, if they're going to be moving soon, hey, let's make sure we get some, stuff that you like, but also will increase your home value.
Of course, yeah. And how often do we put work in and you want to make the value of the house go up? And so those little caveats and tricks of the trade to help people to get better value of their home. Mm-hmm. Important stuff. Tell me, though, as we get into this, I want to find out what it is about the St. Louis market. Now, you're somebody who has lived in other places around the country, and so you've experienced what it's like to not be in St. Louis. But what have you learned about St. Louis and how well St. Louis kind of works together, and some of the caveats, some of the benefits of what you've learned from St. Louis?
So St. Louis does have a very big income gap. There is very high and very low. So with that being said, there's a lot of extra money to be made in St. Louis because of that gap. Because you could have more money, but you could buy a cheaper house, and then you could spend that money then to make your house look something crazy inside, and people from the outside would never know. So I think. Sorry.
No.
I think it's good to go out and try and do something a little bit different.
And St. Louis allows you to have that kind of a wide range. So you've got everything, the very high end to stuff that's not as expensive, and you can help everybody from one end to the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I mean, you can go from Central West End or down to East St. Louis, and it could be something as small as screen door to, I need a special, slate roof added.
There we go. Yeah, slate roof. They do exist here in the St. Louis area. We have one down in Fayette, Missouri, in an old Victorian home.
Oh,
but
beautiful.
Yeah, but pretty neat. And you don't ever want to tear that off and replace it with something else, but you want to have the materials and the expertise to do that. It's pretty exciting to have somebody who's got the experience with that. Well, tell me, Brittany, give me an example of a time. You obviously been working for a long time in our space and in this industry, where you had somebody you could tell was just in a tough situation, and they needed some help, and you came through and helped them.
So actually kind of ran into the situation now. There is a couple not a couple, but a son and a grandma, and or a grandma and grandson. And he's like, my grandma needs help. Can you help me, please? And it was a referral from a friend. So I said, let me go and take a look. A tree had fell through her yard at one of the storms and knocked the whole backside of the house out. And I said, let me see what I can do. I had some leftover supplies from a job. I tried to, put some stuff together to fix the back of the house and stuff. It was too much. So I told them, hey, maybe there's some programs that I work with. Let me see if maybe you can qualify for something for them. A year goes by. They somehow got FEMA money. And they're like, hey, we want you to do the work in the house, and we want to do all new siding, soffit, fascia, gutters. I said, okay. I give them an estimate. We move forward with the work. The grandson is in control of the money. The grandma's maybe not in the best condition. And he pays for a partial payment and doesn't pay for the remaining balance. And normally I pay like 50% up front, and then depends on the job. It can be smaller, but it's something like this. It's a short job, 50% up front, and the rest when we finish. He then refused to pay. The grandma doesn't know that he didn't pay. So it's something I kind of lost on, but when she called me 2 months later after they let her out of the house to see her house, she called me crying. Like, the house is beautiful. I have a new house. I can't believe this. All my neighbors love my house. Thank you so much. And she's bawling her eyes out on the phone. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. And I try to talk to the grandson to get the money and stuff, but he's just kind of been on the run and spent the money on else things, and she's been taken advantage of in the situation.
But you came through and made an unbelievable finished house for her that she's obviously, it's emotional for her, and she now
lost a few grand, for sure.
Lost a few
but
grand.
she's happy, and she needs it more than I do.
Well said there. There's so much that we go through, and every once in a while, it's just sometimes somebody's not doing what's best, but you take the high road, and obviously you did that there and
help them out.
Help somebody a little bit.
Yeah, and I can't put a lien on the property because the grandson went and stole the money. What do I do?
Right. Wow, that's a tough situation, but you decided to take the high road with that. That's cool. Well, with that, there's a lot of challenges in business. Give me a challenge you've overcome that you've learned something dramatically from with regard to your business. There's so much in business that can go wrong, but obviously you've made it. You're doing well. What are some of the challenges you've already overcome?
I think maybe my first hurdle was they changed the rules in Missouri, and when I went to go get a permit, like back to permitting thing, but I went there and they're like, well, you need workers' comp and you need this now and you need that, and I'm like, what? So, like, before you just needed to have insurance. So like I went and got all the stuff and did all of that. That's probably one of the largest hurdles I've had, and then probably being a little bit undermined in the construction field for being a woman.
Okay, yeah. Well, it is a tough space, and yeah, it generally is male dominated. But somebody like yourself going out there, getting it done, and proving it can be done.
Yeah.
But as long as you're willing to put the work in, it sounds like you're doing well and have had great success. Very cool. A little bit of the work you can see done here by Brittany. I'm going to put up on our TV wall number 1. There is her Facebook page, and if you look over here under photos, I was just looking at some of these bathroom jobs you've got here that have turned out great. Tell me a little bit about this job and what you had to do here. This is wow, yeah, you dealt with it from the beginning to end.
Yeah, so
having to tear out some old materials and have something ultimately that looks dynamite. Tell me about that job there and what you went through with that job to make it look good.
So this person had just actually purchased this home and had an awful smell coming through the home, and they didn't know where it was coming from, and they had just noticed like some small black dots in the ceiling next to the vent.
Right.
That's all they had noticed. And by the time that we noticed it through the drywall, it's way worse on the other side. So I told him, I said, it's probably bad underneath. And I said, it's probably coming from your vents because they didn't insulate them properly. So after we fixed that, we did remediate it for the mold and use microbial cleaners in there and sanitize the area. We also had to put an air scrubber in there and, sanitize. And then we went through and finished off the drywall after we cut all that nasty stuff out.
There's your final product, everybody. Talk about somebody who's doing some good work. And what you saw at the beginning there when there was the mold, but that mold, water gets just about everywhere, especially when you're talking about a bathroom. And to have a finished product that looks like this, this is another very happy customer. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's good to see that you're putting such high quality work in there, and a lot of what we're looking to demonstrate to our guests and friends and audiences and those people that are doing a lot of work. Where do you get most of your work from? What is word of mouth? Obviously, is a big part of what you do.
Yeah.
But and then what kind of work do you like the most? This is obviously a bathroom. Do you like kitchens, remodeling? You've got whole houses. Tell me more about what you like.
So I do like the whole house better. We do more of those. It's just because there's a whole, typically when you get a whole house, sometimes maybe they were a pack rat or the house is just doomed. It looks, nobody sees the potential in there. And then when we go in and we change everything and we heighten everything and it looks amazing, it's like a full transformation. So, and it could be something from a small paint job or something from a hoarding situation.
Yeah, well, and when you get to turn somebody's life around, really, when they've got that kind of situation, they've gone from a mess, hoarded, lots of extra stuff stored. I've seen houses like that, to turn it into something that looks like the Taj Mahal, brand new, that can really brighten somebody's day. The environment they wake up now and every day helps them to have that positive perspective. All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you guys staying tuned here. We've got some fun. We partake in the community, and we did some fun here with the Billiken basketball team for a celebration with Juneteenth, and they were up here at the Del Mar Community Center. I'm connected with the kids there for boxing, my buddy Scoo, and they're doing another event coming up here, but this was fun getting to talk to this basketball team. The Billikens have done really well this year, and but prior to that, they talked to the Cardinal Cowboy, and then they did really well. Coincidence? I don't know. I think not. All right, check it out, everybody. Lots of fun here. All right, everybody, we're here with the SLU basketball team enjoying this awesome event. First up, Robbie, you're a little taller than me. I guess you play for the basketball team at St. Louis University.
I do that, yes, sir.
What's your position? How long have you been on the team?
I play center. This is going to be my second year here at SLU.
Are you excited about the upcoming season?
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun season. We can't wait to get started.
What do you find most exciting about this event here today at Delwood Rec Center?
I think just seeing the community get together, seeing the camaraderie between people, on this lovely holiday. Obviously it's a big thing to celebrate, and so just seeing everybody out here together having a good time, it's awesome.
Do you think I can help you maybe with a little bit of your slam dunks, maybe?
I think you can help me a lot, yeah.
All right, we'll work on that later. All right. Thank you, Robbie. What's your name?
I'm Dion Brown.
All right, Dion, what position you playing?
I play combo guard, sometimes small forward as well, so 1, 2, and 3.
I was was not a basketball player at this level, obviously, everybody. So you shoot, rebound, dunk, the whole thing.
That's it. Anything I can do.
How excited are you about playing for SLU this year?
I can't wait. You know, it's got a great group of guys. You know, it's my first year here, so I'm kind of meeting everyone for the first time, but I can't complain. I love it here.
How fun has this event been for you?
It's been great. You know, we got to see people. We got to help out a little bit, taking out the trash. Got to meet people, take pictures. You know, spend time with the community, with the youth. So it's been great.
If you need any help with your three-pointer, you let me know.
Yeah, you can help me right now, actually. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Good deal. What's your name?
Amari.
Mark, how you doing?
Amari.
Amari, I'm sorry, got that right. Amari, good to meet you. What position you play for SLU?
I'm guard.
You're a guard.
Yeah.
You can shoot, dribble, dunk, and the whole thing.
Yeah, just a little bit. I wish I could do it like him, but
We're going to talk to him, too. All right, Amari. How excited are you about the upcoming season for SLU?
I'm very excited. You know, we got a group of guys, you know, that compete and, you know, that's willing to win. So, you know, it's fun. You know, you can't complain.
So is there going to be a potential conference championship in this, maybe? Don't want to get you in trouble predicting. We don't do that in baseball. We don't do it in football. But do you at least feel like you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, we got a group of guys that's willing to win, you know, that's willing to dive on floors and get loose balls. So, you know, you can't complain, honestly.
That's that hard work pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Come on. What's your first name?
Kalu.
Kalu. How long have you been playing with the SLU basketball team now?
This is going to be my second year here now.
So you're excited having a new coach? This is his second year too. Did you come along with the coach? You like this program he's got put together?
Yeah, I came along with him last year. It's a great program, great environment. I'm excited for this new season.
So as a matter of SLU's place in the conference, you think there's a chance you might do well in the conference this year?
For sure, just got to take it day by day and come compete every single day. And I think we'll have a great chance for that.
What position you specialize in?
I'm a forward.
So you can do those rebounds, maybe a slam dunk, and hit a three-pointer every once in a while.
For sure, for sure.
You need any help with your reverse slam dunk, you let me know.
I got you, man.
All right, everybody. We're here up at the event at Delwood, Juneteenth. Cardinal Cowboy. We'll be back.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey, we're looking for the small business owners and leaders in our community to be on our show. This is the Your Little Castle show. We air 3 times a week, every week on ABC, and we would like to put somebody you know, or maybe it's you, who's a business owner to be on our show. You'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com. And if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds. And you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show. And there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Check that out. Go to bigleagues.com. Well, with that, we talk about how the media has changed the way the world functions. By now, you have a media environment in your pocket, right? You got your cell phone here, and you can create any kind of media. You need to do that, but learn how to magnetize your media. Pick up our book here, Magnetize Media. The intro written by yours truly here, the Cardinal Cowboy. But a lot of great information in here. With that, I always ask, how has media, how has the interwebs, how has this whole technology thing changed the way you do business? And somebody like yourself, I don't know if you were around back when we didn't have Google, but she looks very young. But literally, like, technology just changed the way things are done. You got to have a website. You got to have social media. Tell me how that has impacted your business.
Yeah, I didn't realize like a lot of insurance companies and stuff too won't work with you for not having a website and stuff like that. They just kind of want to see and follow through. And see what's going on. But I mean, technology is crazy. I mean, down to the machinery and equipment that we use. There's, for bigger commercial jobs, there's machines that will go and mud the whole wall for you. There's a little printer bot that'll go and print the whole blueprint out, and it saves mine and your job.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, technology it's always going. I didn't realize there are these things. But now you don't need a mud guy up there standing on stilts doing his thing.
No.
They've got robots for that now.
Yeah, the machine, it'll go in and do it all. And you don't need somebody to come in and do the blueprint, and print it on the floor. You just put the drawings in the printer, and he goes and rolls out the whole floor.
There you go, everybody. Talk about technology and how things have changed over the years. What about social media and technology with regard to websites? Has that been something you've obviously had to keep up with too?
Yeah, it's hard for me to keep up with before and afters and stuff like that, but that's one thing that a lot of customers, they love to see. They want to see the before, the after. They want to see the demo. They want to see if you find anything cool inside the house. And you can get a lot of following from small miscellaneous things like that. Maybe not even on the construction work, but like, oh, she's doing houses, but she's always finding something in these old rehabs,
Well, yeah, these days stay on top of that stuff because people want to know what did something look like beforehand and how much work really went into this, and that really impresses people with what you've got when you can show off what you're doing. Tell me though, there are a lot of businesses in St. Louis. A lot of people, they do wonderful work, but I'm sure you've seen some mistakes that have been made. What are some of the mistakes that have been, without naming names of the companies specifically, obviously, but some of the mistakes you've seen made that you want to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes?
Oh, I'm scared to buy a new house. Terrified because
Really?
I go through and I see doors were installed improperly, siding installed improperly. They didn't put any insulation in between the walls, and they thought they could cut corners with it. Improper use of fire block and stuff like that too. Windows, huge expense on a home. Windows, down to your AC and stuff like that, because if your windows aren't done properly, you're losing a lot of heat. You're losing a lot of stuff throughout the different time of the years. So all of this stuff can add up, and when you see stuff like that, like those big costly items, like why did I get this new house and my electric bill's $1,000? Like, this is insane.
Wow.
And those small things, I want to make sure I do properly. I make sure I get proper wood, that it's not split, that it's been treated properly, it's had time to dry out and do what it needs to do before we install. So doing the proper inspections on all the materials and stuff like that before install, also during install. For example, we're doing framing, maybe they split a piece of wood, they put the screw too close to the side, it's to then go take that piece out and put a new piece in, not to just leave it there and continue to move forward and hope it's going to be okay.
Yeah, how often would they couldn't even tell that kind of work was just glossed over and you missed a couple studs when you're putting in screws, and now you've got a wallboard that starts to puff out, or there's a lot of shortcuts if they don't do things right.
Yeah, and then you're just looking all around like, what happened here? What's going on here? Why is this leaking? Why is my brand new roof leaking?
Important things to take note of and make sure you're doing correctly, everybody. Well, tell me the process for somebody to hire you. They can go to your website, get your phone number, Walk me through that process. Once somebody's contacted you, where do you go from there?
So I typically, they give me a call. I receive emails, calls, text. Some people, it just depends on the form of communication. After we establish that, I collect your information. I schedule time to go out there, and depending on the project, smaller projects like doors change out or something, we can typically do relatively sooner. Larger home projects, full home remodels, we are booked out a little bit longer. So it just kind of depends.
Okay, yeah, and then you'll walk them through that, and then you go meet with them, and then put together a plan.
Yep.
And then sometimes jobs you can start within a week or two. Sometimes you're 3 or 4 months out, depends on the size of the job.
Yeah.
And your other workload, I guess.
And then, we go pick out supplies, materials, and most of the time they have a list of stuff that they already want, or it's already ordered, and like, can you install it for me, please? So it kind of just depends.
Yeah, that's good to see that you do like being hands-on to make sure, take care of customers and get them set up and understand the process for what they are going to go through. Because it's stressful when somebody's in your house tearing apart walls and moving.
Stressful, dusty, messy. So we try to make sure we're very clean also.
Very, very good. Yes, cleanup is always an important thing too. What's the biggest objection people have with you before they get started? I mean, a lot of times is it always about price, or what kind of questions do people have and say, I want to get this done, but what's the question they have for you?
2 things. If you probably haven't heard of me, you're probably like, does she know what she's doing? She looks very young, and she's a woman. There's no way. But once we kind of go through things and they build that relationship, then they see that I am very skilled. Then the next issue is the price. Sometimes it is a little bit more costly. Sometimes it is a little bit, on the cheaper side. And, then when we become more costly, they're like, well, what can we do to help with the cost? Or maybe you can't get this nice fancy bathtub that you want with jets inside. You can only get the freestanding bathtub.
Okay.
So it's then coming to those compromises that maybe the homeowner doesn't want to make.
Yeah, so sometimes you got to help work within their budget, and you're willing
Yeah.
to do that to make sure that people get what they need, and but have a nice finished project. Either way, they're going to have an improvement to their house. It's going to make the value go up
Yes.
very often. That's cool. What do you get the most satisfaction when it comes down to it? We got about a minute left here, but what do you gives you the most satisfaction every day? It makes you wake up and do this, seeing these final projects when they're completed, the look on a consumer's face. What do you like about what you do?
I like when the project's done, but also the ending result, when the person lives in the home. The investor and stuff, commercial stuff, it's cool, but I like when they live in the home and they get to live in it every day, and they get to see, all the work and be happy to be in their home. That's their sanctuary.
Yeah, to see somebody who's got now a house that they can say, this is mine, and very proud about it, and it gives them a nice, wonderful, beautiful place to work and live, and to have the family and to have everything else involved with that. Last question for you. What do you like most about helping the community? You've done a lot of work during this tornado recovery. How does that help you to feel good about what you're doing to make a difference?
You don't realize how many people really need help, and going out there during the tornado, it wasn't necessarily all construction services that needed help, but maybe a woman was trapped in her house. She had lost oxygen. She had food. The power's gone for days, so obviously the house smells from rotted food inside there and stuff. It's going through and helping her with everything, cleaning out her fridge, as we were told not to go into the house, but who's going to tell me?
Stay tuned for more,
you need help?
everybody. Enjoy your little